We're doing this. We're doing this again? Coronavirus? One more time? Are you sick and tired of it? Are you sick and tired of talking about coronavirus? Well, everyone's sick and tired of it, but grow up. You're an adult. Let's talk about it. Oh, I need to change up the background because this is a new video and I'm doing something different and I want you to think that this was a different day that I filmed it. It's not. Gold background? That's kind of boring. Coral? Is that coral? That looks purple. Okay. Aqua? That's kind of cute. Cyan. We're going with cyan, I guess. All right, guys. We're going to talk about the coronavirus today and something in particular that caught my eye in the New York Times, which was an article about coronavirus fatigue. I should probably have that article in front of me if I'm going to talk about it. There we go. The title of it was, As the Coronavirus Surges, a New Culprit Emerges, Pandemic Fatigue. And the byline is, exhaustion and impatience are creating new risks as cases soar in parts of the world. They have had enough, one U.S. mayor said of her residents. This is an article by Julie Bosman, Sarah Mervosh, and Mark Santora. Now, I'm not going to talk about the article a lot. It's more of the idea that came out of the article that I really enjoyed that we should all talk about. Coronavirus fatigue. I guess the gist of the article was that people are tired of staying inside. They've started to go out and have birthday parties again, go to bars. They miss their families, so they're going to meet their families. Basically, we're all still failing the marshmallow test again. Coronavirus cases in the U.S. have surged as we hit 70,000 sometime last week. I think it was Friday or something. 70,000 cases. We haven't had that since July. I don't even know the numbers that came out on Sunday, Monday, or Tuesday. I don't know when I'm uploading this video, so I had to say that. But, it's been above 50 for a couple days in a row, 50,000. And I think the world hit 400,000 cases in a day on Saturday, if I'm not mistaken. Sometime this weekend anyway. And so the cases are going back up again, and part of it is this coronavirus fatigue, or what was it called? Pandemic fatigue. Now, part of me is the guy who comes on here and says how stupid everyone is, especially Americans, because they can't sit down in their house and learn a hobby or exercise or learn how to cook. They have to go have a beer with their friend. They have to go have a wedding. They have to do all these things. Today, I'm not going to do that, although I still believe those things. So don't worry, Sarcastic Alex still exists. However, I think it's important to talk about the pandemic fatigue because we need to understand that we're all in this together. And I'm not talking about in this like a team. I mean, like, we're all kind of suffering. We're all sitting back and feeling like crap. I'll try to remember a couple of the times that I felt like crap during this pandemic. One particular moment is one that only my close friends know about at this point, and I'm not going to go into too much detail, but there was certainly an external event in my life that led to a lot of sadness. And that sadness was exacerbated by the fact that we also, shortly after the event in my life, we went into level 2.5 shutdown in Korea, and I wasn't able to meet people, see people. I was very isolated at that time, and I went through just a little depression. Like, I think a lot of us did, and a lot of us still do. Those of us that are actually sitting at home and staying at home, and those of us that can't see our family and friends, can't go back to America or can't go back to their home state, whatever it may be. It certainly is sad, and that's not the only time I felt sad. I thrive on hanging out with people. I miss meeting new people randomly. And it just hit me kind of hard. So, okay, my talking slowed down. That means I got serious, I guess. I don't know. Is that something that you guys have faced? Is that something you've dealt with? Because it's something that I've definitely had to deal with. The reason I want to talk about it, though, is because I think what will actually give us the strength to keep going isn't some jerk on YouTube who's going to be like, quit being an idiot. I mean, that's between, like, you and me. You and I kind of have the same opinions on stuff. So it's like, it's great for you and me to talk about if you're one of my original subscribers. I don't know. But it's terrible to convince people to do something right. Like, shaming people in this instance when it's a really difficult time that's causing a lot of mental hardship and depression in many cases, I don't think is the right way to do it at this moment. Because we're now at the point where we've all been through a lot, we've all tried a lot, and there's a temptation to go back to it. But I feel like if I explain my side of the story and you tell your side of the story of how sad you might have been or depressed that you can't see your family or whatever, then that'll build a solidarity in a different kind of way. It's no longer like conservatives versus liberals. It's no longer maskers versus anti-maskers. I think part of what I don't do well enough on the channel is to acknowledge kind of the emotions of the other side. And I think in this case, I think both sides, all sides, are kind of suffering a little bit mentally from going through this pandemic in our own ways, in different ways. Some people are going out, but they don't know how to handle themselves. And there's another isolation of not being around people, or maybe they are going out, but no one's there. Like, you have to do certain things when you're out. Pandemic fatigue is real. And I'll talk about the only ways that I've gotten over it, actually. The good news is I'm in South Korea, so I've actually gotten over it in a couple of different ways. One is music, and the other is exercise, and that's been a saving grace for me. And I have nothing but like the Korean government and the Korean people to thank, and the foreigners here as well, because we've done a really good job, like knock on wood, of keeping the virus numbers down. And whenever that spikes to above a couple hundred, we all do the right thing. We stay in, we wear masks. We still wear masks, even though it's below 100 at the taping, as of the taping of this filming. But because of that, we've been able to keep our gyms mostly open. And we've been able to still go to the music practice rooms and go record an album. I have an album coming out in a month, or less than a month now. I'll tell you more about it later. If you don't follow us, I think it's Pira_band. Or is it band_Pira? I should know this by now. This is my band's Instagram. So y'all go follow it right now. I'll give you like a few seconds as I'm looking it up too. It's band_Pira. The band's called Pira. And we got cool stuff that you can follow, and the album's coming out next. Anyway, I feel like it's one of those videos. Like this video is brought to you by the band Pira. Pira. It's my band. That's getting lame. But dude, check it out. Okay, done, right. Music has actually been something that's kind of kept me sane. And exercise. Even when they closed down the gym for a couple of weeks, I was exercising at home. And I think having goals and having something you can accomplish has allowed me to be really happy in this situation. Not in the beginning, because in the beginning, exercise sucks. But like losing weight, I've lost 8 kilograms since the beginning of summer. And band, we are going to have 6 songs out by November. We already have 1 out. And I think having a goal and accomplishing something has, one, been a great distraction. When I'm exercising, I'm not thinking about the pandemic, even though I'm wearing a mask. So I can't not think about it, I guess. But I'm not like worried about it. I have another goal in mind, right? And the music too. The goal is to make music, to create songs, and to learn the songs. That's been so helpful, having something that I can do to get through it. So we're all in this pandemic together. It's causing everyone pandemic fatigue. It's terrible. I am with you on that one. I encourage everyone out there who hasn't started their pandemic diet yet. We all did the pandemic eating. That's why I had to start the pandemic diet, because I was up like 4 kilograms in a couple of months. So, if you haven't started like a diet or an exercise regimen, or, it doesn't have to be about losing weight either, just staying healthy, reading books, if you haven't started picking up that instrument that you haven't played in a long time, or you want to learn an instrument or a language, we're not out of this virus by a long shot. We've got minimum 6 months, probably more like another 10 months until next summer, when we'll be okay to maybe travel again if the vaccines come out on time. So I just highly recommend that you just start now. You still got plenty of time to start a hobby, start reading, start playing music, start exercising, doing something. If you're in America and you can't go to the gym, sorry, I don't want to rub that in your face. Start one at home if you can. We're in a pandemic. We're all sad together. We still got to make it through another 9 or 10 months. So hope everyone's doing okay. Tell me how you are getting through the pandemic. If you have any tips as well, because it's not just for the people reading it. I read all the comments as well, and I want to know if you have any other suggestions for how to get through the pandemic. Alcohol has not been an answer for me, even though I've definitely partaken in it, and again, after my alcohol diet was over. Yeah, I want to know in the comment section. So tell me, please. All right. Thanks for listening to me, and hopefully someone listens to you as well as we talk about these issues of pandemic fatigue. And I guess I'll see you next time. Like the video, please. Helps me get through it, the pandemic or something. Goodbye. Haseyo.